Okay, forgive my lovely feet. Woo! But I want to give you a brief sample of what's happening before I explain to you the Autumn Equinox and how this might really help you, okay? Woo! Objective Empathy, the book's coming soon. What's going on? PernellBobby checking in with another one. I want to give you the Autumn Equinox, okay? Also known as Mabon. And some techniques that you can do to really make sure you celebrate this process, because it is a process. It's the midway point into yourself and into others. Okay, now where does that come? We're in Libra season. All right, the Autumn Equinox happens in Libra season, and it's going to be 2 a year. Okay, so one comes in spring, and it's April, which is that other axis, the complete other half point, the balance. Aries is the balance of the Libra. Aries being all about self, the Libra being all about others, okay? Partnerships. So the Autumn Equinox really is a chance for us during this time of the year to really celebrate others, to celebrate what we've already accomplished, to celebrate some of our deeper wounds. This is something important. This is why I want to give you some techniques on how to celebrate this, and also want to give you a vision board. I want to show you what I did in order to help really maximize this time. So to do that, I got to give you a little bit of the history behind the equinox and where this comes from. Okay, 2 a year, it's a time for harvest. It's a time for planting new seeds. It's a time for manifesting desires that's going to come more around that spring equinox, okay, around that April, because I'm going to give it like, excuse me, give it about 6 months. Anytime you set some goals to manifest, give it about 6 months, write it down, look at it, and you're going to realize that once you looked at it enough, there's going to be a point where you don't need to anymore, and things are just going to start to manifest. All right, so you're going to see I have a board. It's over there for the time being, but what is this going on? So this is when the sun hits in a complete alignment with the equator. So right now the sun is lined up with the equator, and it's going to create an equal shadow, all right? And it's going to create equal light. So the light and the shadows, the light and the dark, is going to kind of equal out during this time frame. In the northern hemisphere, you're going to get light for a little bit less time, all right? In the southern, you're going to get light for a little bit more time. So depending on where you are, culture to culture, everybody has a different ritual behind this. The Aboriginals in Australia and Osatara, and you have the Greek, and they did their rituals, and a lot of it had to do with the Greek mythology. Okay, a little bit of Hades' wife returning when the spring equinox comes, the one in April, and kind of going back to hell, or back to Hades in a sense. During the autumn. And so the mother who runs agriculture, planting, okay, agriculture, planting, harvesting, manifesting fruits of her labor, that comes back around during the spring. So you got about a 6 month span, so you should really make a big plan, and that's why I wanted to give you this particular tactic. The vision board, the mind map that I created. I'm going to show you now. But other than that, it's a good time to really keep your house clean. Really do a spring cleaning or fall cleaning, if you will. It's a good time to take inventory of the people in your life and say, look, this person does or this person does not belong. Get very clear on that, okay? And use the energy of the Libra communication that we're in. We're in Mercury for Libra right now. We also have Libra in the sun right now, just as of the 23rd. We also have a happy birthday to my man in Hong Kong, Sherman, and my other man right now in Mexico, Simit. This is his shirt. Okay, so happy birthday to both of you on this day, September 23rd. I send you all my love, all my grace. But to keep moving forward, it's a really good time to take inventory of those people in your life. It's a good time to take inventory of where you stand in your business, where you stand in your personal development. All right. So the Autumn Equinox is a lot about shadow work. Carl Jung coined this term, shadow work. And the spring, which is in April, the spring equinox will be more about really reaping the benefits of what we do during this season. So that's 6 months now from now. That's the halfway axis mark. Aries and Libra, the self and others. So right now we have a time and a chance to look and assess and comprehend, where do we need to feed ourselves, and how do we balance that with really, feeding our relationships and feeding our interactions with others. Okay, so that's just a very brief equinox between the two that we have in each year. Now I want to actually show you the hands-on tangible stuff, the reason why you're probably here, so that you can look at the mind map and get some ideas. Thank you. Stay tuned. Looky here. So, what do we have going on? First off, I just put gold smack in the middle. Okay, and then I color coded them. I used my handy dandy coffee cup. I started off with the reds. Okay, entrepreneurial goals, creative goals, financial goals, relationship goals, personal goals, mind-body goals. So something like mind-body, I branched out and I did all the orange. That was the branch, like a tree of life. I said, mind-body, I want fasting. I want to start scanning my body for ailments, for pain, for where I feel good, everything, okay? I want to do the meditation. So I want to get some nature, and I want Spanish as part of my life. This is about 4 months or so ago. All right. From there, it branched out to the yellows. Under fasting, I want to do at least 14 hours daily. 7 p.m. is my cutoff time. Okay. Pain blockages for the body scans. I want to ask my heart what's going on. Meditation. I want to teach others, go through self-exploration of my own body, my own space, my own darkness, my own light. I want to get a mental snapshot of nature every day. I wanted to literally go out there, take my hand, 2 hands, and do like a no phone. Just have no phone during this process. I never bring the phone, aka being alone 1 time a day. Notice the tree of life, branching from the goals. What do we have? The communication with the nature. So I touch the trees. I put my feet in the dirt. From here, I allowed space. So you don't expect to do all of this, okay, in one run. A lot of this stuff I added in, like all the purples that you see on the chart, none of that purple was in there the first time. And that was the color I chose to make things stick out. Before the purple, it was the greens. So I added in, like here, Tibet. I said I wanted to do the intro healings. Now I got to make a new one because my phone, I lost it. So now I'm on here. And I want to sing. I sing on my own stuff. I'm going to have Oprah in my life. That's going to happen. Empower Living. This is really, the name may be changing here and there, but I'm going to be sending people where I'm at, whatever country I'm in, looking like it's going to be Colombia. And then I want educational. So these are things I added. So different categories. This start off really by itself as just a box. Quick reminder of the 7 deadly sins: greed, sloth, lust, gluttony, envy, wrath, pride. It allowed me to stay mindful of when I was crossing these lines. And one by one, I was able to really tack off the sloth and the arrogance. And I wrote all the bad on this side. I wrote what the good version of it is on this side. So to defeat greed, in a sense, is to be generous, be diligent, be pure, be moderate, be thankful, be patient, be humble. You look at this every day, you do these things. I mean, some quick notes. I want to squat physically. I want to squat 30 minutes a day. I want to hang on a pole 7 minutes a day. I want to read because it's a privilege. Mind, set, meditate, mastery. Kegels, focusing on your sexual organs, redistributing that energy. Mirror choose, getting in the mirror every day. Get in the mirror, I talk to myself. To be honest, I haven't looked at this in a while because I've just moved into this house and I haven't done the mirror talk. I got to be honest. So that's what happens when you have it. You have the goals, you know them, but when you're not looking at them every day, semen retention, okay. You got semen retention, if you don't know what that is, that's like redistributing your sexual energy for whatever you please. You can put it towards your relationship in a positive manner during dates or cooking energy and stuff like that. Everything costs energy, ladies and gentlemen. You can put this towards what else? Semen retention, work production. So there's plenty more. If you want a video on that, let me know. These are just the ritual box, the first little box, the square here. So this is kind of, I actually have these 7 tats on my back. Mulahara,
Sadvistana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishura, Ajna, Saharsara, Ruchakara, Sekro, solar plexus, heart, throat, being.
Get that.
So let's see what we got here. Notice that the middle is pretty much blank. I wish I drew this a little bit smaller, but I guess it also means that much. This is the spiritual blueprint. That's what I ended up deeming it, also being a part of God's plan. Okay, so you're gonna notice that I spent time in the corner here. I did my morning rituals, in a sense, my daily rituals. I did business plan in this little chart here. I'm gonna save a little space for new goals. I did numerology, reminding myself so that when I see the numbers to put into context, what am I thinking of? Understanding the 12 houses. Okay, I save space on the outside and here if necessary. The chakras, the 7 that are down the lining of my back, and the fact that I'm a generator, which is huge. Okay, what is me and what do the signs look like in my low expression? What does it look like when I'm in God mode? Okay, I really like that. Make sure I get the nature, and then this is going to allow me to have this little space on these inside pieces here. All here, I'm going to be able to fill in different kind of goals. Mind you, again, this is how the last one went. I just went bubbles and went bubble, 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 bubble. So it turned out different. But let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
Okay, so there you have it. You saw in the picture that I stayed on the outsides of the video. The reason I recommend that is because in the first board, before I flipped it over, you'll see I started from the middle. I put goals and then I branched out. But then later I wanted to add things like, what are my daily rituals? I'm gonna look at this every day, right? So what are my daily rituals in the corner? Another corner I wrote like the 7, in the middle I ended up, because I ran out of space and it made it complicated. In the middle I wrote like the 7 deadly sins, which is where I was at in that moment. Greed, pride, arrogance, etc. But because it was in the middle, it took up a lot of space as I branched out from the middle outwards. There's this big middle piece, big one here, one random here. So this time around, I'm actually going on the outside of the boards, all right? So for me, considering I'm doing a lot of spiritual information, a lot of, I like spiritual intelligence. I've been playing with my friend with this spiritual intelligence field, okay? I want to dominate the spiritual intelligence field. But I've been working with the angel numbers as one. On the bottom, you're going to see I was doing the chakra points, but now I created a half point of what are going to fuel these chakra points, what are going to disrupt them for each one. So there's 7 chakras, and for each side, we're going to do that. As we keep moving forward, what did I add as well? I added a little astrology chart. I'm going to give you another little glance if I didn't give it to you prior to this, me saying this. And added a little astrology chart, and then I added the houses, number house 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for me, this is my particular goals, but I'm working on the outside borders. I'm going to do that same bubble out concept, okay? I'm going to color code it. So all the closest bubbles to the middle of the phoenix that you would have seen in the middle of this thing is going to give you the main topics of where I want to focus. So I might put like self-care as a whole category. I might put relationships as a whole category. Finances as a whole category. Business services as a category, okay? Because I'm in that business service season. And then from the business service, it might branch off of how I'm going to make this finance, or what is this creative endeavor being the podcast, or you feel me? So I want to give you that update on the update. You saw some of my real process. I gave you some of the genuine keys. And I tell you, everything I wrote, which seemed so far out 4 months ago on this board, has come absolutely true, to a way where things are still coming true on the straggling 3% that I didn't hit. And I didn't have to keep focus on it. Eventually, for about the last month, I didn't even really look at the board because I instinctually knew it. And I can pull those gems out at any moment. So thank you for checking in. Go ahead, once again, like, subscribe, help a brother out. I'll see you soon.